Welcome along then to the circuit Paul Ricard, home of the French Grand Prix, home race of the Renault team, and of course a number of the drivers on the grid as well. Of the 14 races held here up until 1990, 5 were won by a Frenchman, and 4 of those, of course, were Alain Prost. I wonder who'll add their name to that winners list today. A lap of Paul Ricard then consists of 15 corners and a total length of around 3.6 miles. Drivers will need to position their cars carefully on the exit of the flat-out turn 10, ready for the double apex right-hander at 11. Watch out for potential overtaking action at the end of the start-finish straight and into the heavy braking zone of turn 8. Anthony Davidson is here once again for today's Grand Prix. Let's talk about the Iceman. They're still relatively new to a sport which does have a high learning curve and, of course, little tolerance for mistakes.
That's right, it is a difficult environment to come into. In junior categories, you're competing against drivers with similar levels of experience. But some of these guys in Formula 1 have been there for over a decade. But I have to say, in this case, it's so far so good.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Raikkonen, Sebastian Vettel and Hülkenberg, Verstappen, Iceman, Perez and Fernando Alonso, Grosjean, Magnussen, Esteban Ocon and Leclerc, Gasly, Van Dorn, Brendan Hartley and Marcus Ericsson, Stroll and Sergei Sirotkin rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
This is our engine supplier's home Grand Prix. Let's give them a race worth watching.
Lights out, so away we go for the start of the French Grand Prix. And there's contact between myself and Romain Grosjean on the first corner. A bit more contact. More contact between myself and Sergio Perez. Go around into the second corner. And we have yellow flags back to green racing flags. And there's a bit of corner cut in there, but I'll give the position back to Nico Hülkenberg before there is a penalty given. There's contact between myself and Nico Hülkenberg. Taking too much of the track limits. Lap 1, P7. Next target is Max Verstappen. Come round into
Be
the
careful with the front wing, you've taken some minor damage.
corner here. We are a couple of seconds behind Max Verstappen, but we will be overtaking Max before the end of the lap. Go around into the next hairpin. Still behind Max Verstappen. But we're catching up with him now. We are gaining on him quite a bit now. As I always say, this race could be offset by a safety car, and we have to give the position back to Max Verstappen. So as I said, there could be a safety car and there could be a retirement from the race, or there could be multiple DSQs like we saw in Azerbaijan. Lewis Hamilton sets the fastest lap of a 1 minute and 42. Lap 2. And we are going to be overtaking Max Verstappen. And there's contact between myself and Max Verstappen. There's contact. Behind Kimi Raikkonen. So we are catching up with Kimi Raikkonen now. And we'll be pitting the car in a couple of laps time. So there are 13 laps and we have to pit the car at least once.
DRS is now enabled, will be available to use when you are within 1 second of the car ahead in the DRS zone. seconds. We're leading our teammate by 3.8 seconds. He might make a mistake. Stay with him, he might make a mistake. We can still regain the position.
And we have just crossed the line onto the start of lap 13. We're in P7, we have one lap of fuel left, and that's Bottas in front of us, with Pierre Gasly behind us. And our race leader is Lewis Hamilton, who could be taking the win of the first French Grand Prix. One lap of fuel. No, it's Nico Hulkenberg is now behind us, so if this, or the stuff like this, the Renault Sport team will get a 7th and 8th place finish for this weekend's Grand Prix, which will help the team in the championship quite a lot. So the next round we go to will be Austria, the home of the Red Bull team, and Lewis Hamilton has just won the French Grand Prix. He'll be happy with that, and the Mercedes team will be happy with that, because that'll help them out in the championship. So coming through the last couple of corners, we are going to be taking home P7 and P8. The Renault Sport team. Here we come around the last corner towards the finish line in P7.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
So Mercedes have won it, and what a great race it was. And Anthony Davidson, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
Well, I'd say it's just raw pace, plain and simple. I mean, we could sit here and talk about strategy all day, the overtaking, looking after the tyres, but at the end of it all, if you want to win, you need a package that's got the speed over everyone else, and that's exactly what they had today.
And here are our podium drivers today after that excellent race. They've excelled here, as they so often do, and it's a well-deserved victory. Mercedes, then, are on top today. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Well, the lead at the top has come down after a poor result for our points leader. Now then, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
I'll probably go for Pierre Gasly. The team did a good job with the strategy to put him in amongst the pack, but it's the driver's job to capitalise on those opportunities, and he did so with a lot of skill.
And here's how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Another team that will be satisfied with this Grand Prix is Sauber, whose good results moves them further up the championship. After all that excitement, it's time for a lie down, I think. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye until the next race.